Welcome back to FallCon 37. I am Paparazzo Dave Chapman. Hello, everybody. So I've got an extra great treat. I kind of wandered over, and if you watched my walkthrough of the vendors, we saw Unscrewed. 5 days left on Kickstarter. Kickstarter URL should be in the description, but it's also scroll right. Oh, save. Right there, so you can go check it out. 5 more days to back this game if you are interested. If you're not, that's okay too. No worries. We've got a couple of people here to help us out, including the creator. We've got, where's my button? There's what I'm looking for. Excellent. So this is the large version of the setup. So we're going to bring over this. And Chris, go ahead, introduce yourself. Tell us about Unscrewed.
Yeah, hi, my name is Chris Cook. I am the sole designer, person, whatever, at Hyena Games. It's kind of my company. This is my first board game. It's a 90s cartoon-inspired battle royale game called Unscrewed. If anyone's ever seen shows like Ren and Stimpy, Cow and Chicken, Courage the Cowardly Dog, very heavily inspired by that era of cartoons. And it's a battle royale game, so the goal is to be the last one standing on the board. If everyone is dead except for you, you've won. The premise is that everyone has a show on the same network, the Blammo network, and because of dwindling ratings, they can't afford to keep them all on the air at the same time, so they've chosen to pit them against each other in a televised fight to the death, and the losers get canceled, basically.
Of course they do.
Yeah. It's a programmed action game, so unlike a lot of other games where you go in a circle and each person does one thing at a time, in this one, everyone has a hand of the same 6 action cards, and we all simultaneously plan our next 3 turns in advance at the start of the round. Once everyone's planned their full scheme, it's locked in, can't change it anymore. Then we get to go in a circle, seeing what everyone did one step at a time, and watching it sort of play out on the board. Mostly, your actions will consist of having characters move around, react to spaces on the map, try to push each other around, use attacks on each other, and try to survive a super chaotic, hazardous environment. One very big mechanic in the game that should always be in the back of players' minds is that at the end of every round, the board shrinks. So there's this set of rings that come down just like that, and they cover the outermost circle of spaces. Anyone in one of those spaces when a ring comes down is killed, and in future rounds, walking into that is a new way to die as well. So that's going to essentially continue to happen every single round. The board gets smaller and smaller and smaller and tighter until somebody wins or until the whole thing is covered, in which case nobody wins.
Oh no, splat. Yeah, let me zoom in on that splat. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah.
That's okay. That just needs to be, look at that. How horrible is that? I love it.
This is actually a reference to a really old, the first version of this that I started 6 years ago was called Meat Grinder. And it was a big decagon-shaped board with these platforms, and you're jumping around trying not to fall into the meat grinder, basically.
Right.
So this is the last remnant of that.
That's awesome. So we got one more player. Does it look like he's coming?
Yeah, we can get started.
Okay. All right, we'll get started. So let's switch this camera view over to this. Perfect. So, what do we do?
First things first, we have to figure out who the first player is, and the first player token is actually called the dibs token, and it goes to whoever calls dibs first. Dibs. This guy knows what he's doing.
He does, yes.
So then, in dibs order, which means starting with our friend the Mad Cow here and proceeding clockwise, you're going to pick any blank spot on the map that you want to spawn your character on. Remember that the board shrinks, so starting in the corner is a risky choice. Yes. Perfect. And so now, for us, same rule, blank space, but we also can't spawn in a space adjacent to another character.
Makes sense.
Including diagonal. Diagonal is always included in adjacent in this game. So I'm going to just go right here.
I will go here.
Perfect. Now that we've placed ourselves, I'm going to go over the hazards on the board. Hopefully you don't regret where you are. The oil is slippery, so when a character steps on oil, they slide an additional space in the same direction that they entered it from. So slide right over it just like that. If you had a straight path of oil, you would continue to slide until you weren't on oil anymore. Walls are impassable, so if you try to walk into a wall, you just bump into it. You don't go anywhere. The bomb-spitting frogs here, that's what they do. They spit bombs when you step on them. So in that case, let's say I were to step on this frog, I would roll the die, and that's how far out of his mouth a bomb gets spat. So I rolled a 2 here. So I grab a bomb, and it comes out of the bomb spitter in the direction his mouth is pointing. So it will go 1, 2, just like that. Now, these other standees on the board, the bombs and the anvils, are also, they're called thingamajigs, and they interact with the map in the same way as the characters. We're all thingamajigs. So these also slide on oil, and they also bump into walls, and they can also push us around, and we can push them around, and all that good stuff. And then lastly, we have fans. So fans activate during the end of the round, called the aftermath, which is when we shrink the map. And when a fan activates, if you're anywhere in front of it, indicated by this arrow here, it pushes you 1 space away. If you're anywhere behind it, it pulls you 1 space towards it. Exactly. If at any time you get moved into a fan, not just when it activates, you die. And then we take these blood splatter tokens, and we put one on every space in front of the fan until we get to the edge of the board. And the blood is slippery just like the oil is. So
I'm not in the most ideal space, but I'm probably going to have a chance to move before that happens.
Absolutely, yeah. Unless something unfortunate happens.
Right.
You can spawn somewhere else if you'd like. I should have told you that first.
Oh no, I will accept where I will accept where I played.
Sounds good. Okay, so now that we've spawned in, the first phase of the round is to gain quirks. So the dibs player is going to look at the top 2 quirks, and you're going to pick one of these to keep. The one that you keep is going to go in front of your board here, just like that, and the other one is going to get discarded face up. So go ahead and choose that. While he's choosing, the rest of the players each just draw the top card off the deck, and we get whatever it is. So quirks are essentially game-altering rule cards that change sort of your abilities. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them are very bad, and they will generally say exactly what they do on the card. Every card in this deck is also unique and has unique artwork, so you never know what you're going to get.
Right.
So this one is when you stumble, which means move in a random direction, you shift instead, which is choose the direction, and it can be diagonal. So that's a very good one. Yeah. Okay, so you're going to keep that. So once we have all of our cards, I like to go in a circle and get everyone to read them. So we already know what yours does, Interpretive Dancer. I got Clerical Error. At the start of the aftermath, which is when the board shrinks, I die. At the end of the aftermath, I respawn and trash this. So I get to essentially skip an aftermath.
Okay.
But if I'm dead and only one person is left on the board, that person wins. So hopefully that's not what happens.
All right. So everyone else can see what I got here. Flaming Mad. If I push or get pushed by a bomb, it explodes.
Exactly. And we'll go over bombs once one of them shows up.
Makes sense.
Okay, now that we've gotten our quirks, we go into the scheming phase. This is we look at our 6 action cards that we have in our hand, and we pick 3 that we want to do, and we lay them down on our scheme board in the order we want to do them in. So, really quickly, I'll go over the actions. We have the 4 compass direction cards, north, east, south, and west. These are very simple. Your character just moves 1 space towards the corresponding compass sign that we have around the edge of the board here. So if I were to move 1 space west, I would go just like that. Then we have the improvise action, which makes you draw the top card off the improv deck, and whatever it is, you resolve it right away. You don't hold on to these.
So I need to do that, whatever it is.
Exactly. You don't store these. You use it immediately. This will either be an attack card that you aim to try to disrupt other players with, or it'll be a surprise card, which is just a random event that does something crazy and then gets discarded afterwards.
And then I have another card.
Again. Exactly. Again is the last action, and it repeats whatever came immediately before it in your scheme. So let's say I were to go improvise and then again, this would essentially be a second improvise card.
If I put a north there, I need to go north again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if it was north and then again, it would be north again. Exactly. Okay, so now that we know the cards, we can lay our 3 actions down.
Sorry, Mark, I can't zoom in too well on this. I'm trying to get like an angle on my camera, but I will try and show what I've got going on here. So there's the back of these. There's the front of these. And I'll zoom out. I can zoom out when we get to the playing of stuff, so we have a better idea of what's going on. I'll trust these guys aren't going to go looking at my screens to see when I do this.
Okay, so now we're going to lay our cards down and see what we want to do.
Exactly what I want to do.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot a very important rule that is huge for how you decide what you want to do. We all have a special character ability called our gimmick. Our gimmick is essentially a goal and a reward. It's a goal and a reward. The goal is some condition we're trying to satisfy, and the reward is, wow, I'm bad at this.
It's also zoomed in funny, and
there we go.
Backwards.
The goal is a condition we're trying to satisfy, and the reward is the effect we get every time we do so. So if I do my goal, I get my reward. That's simple as that. So Mosquito that you're looking at now is all about being aggressive. So his goal is to hit somebody else with an attack from the improv deck. Anything in a jig. So hitting a bomb or an anvil works as well. Yeah. If you do hit something with Mo's attack, he has his own special follow-up attack he can do. Mad Cow, who you're looking at now, is all about embracing randomness. So at the start of the round, at the start of every action he's about to take, before he flips his card face up, you can choose to confuse yourself, which means you shuffle it back in your hand and you randomly replace it. Every time you confuse yourself, you get a whole token to hold on to. And at the end of the round, if you're still alive, you can spend all the holes that you've accrued for spins on the Wheel of Chaos, which is on the back of the card here.
Nice.
And it does a bunch of different stuff. I'm Freddy. I'm all about hiding from everyone, so I'm trying to end the round with nobody next to me. And if I can do that, then I get to flip my card over. As long as my card is flipped, I get to ignore all the hazards in the map. I treat every space like it's mine. But if somebody's adjacent to me at the end of the round, I flip the card back. All right, sorry about that. So if you want to change your actions based on that new information, go for it.
Sure don't.
I'm going to quickly lay my stuff down here.
We go by this way, right? This is the first time.
Yes.
Second time.
Yeah. So now that we've schemed, since you're the dibs player, you're going to flip and resolve your first action, unless you'd like to confuse yourself. No? Okay. So Mad Cow is going to go one space north, and then it's my turn for my first action. I'm also going north. I step on the oil, and I slide an extra space.
I am going to improvise.
Okay, so go ahead and draw the top card off the deck there, and you can just reveal it. It's not secret.
Finger guns.
So the attack card has a blueprint grid on it that essentially shows the space. I'm so bad at that. Sorry.
All good. It's like I said, it's
So it shows a blueprint grid with a white arrow that represents your character's current space and a series of spaces relative to that you're targeting for the attack. So in this case, Dave, you would be the white arrow, and you're sort of shooting out two lines on the spaces to your front left and front right, and those lines shoot out forward until they hit something. Yes.
there.
Or you could aim it north. You aim the attack in one of the four compass directions.
Well, unfortunately, neither one matters.
Yeah, so sadly in this case, no matter which way you aim it, you're not going to quite hit anybody. If you were to hit somebody, then you would resolve as much of the text as possible. Actually, you do that anyway, even if you don't hit anybody, because sometimes attacks have effects that occur even if there's no victims.
So,
but that one is not one of them, unfortunately.
Yeah, because you need a victim to place those those splatters. Okay.
So that's it for the improvised action. Then we go on to Mad Cow's second action. West. Okay, I'm going to move you west just like that. He's getting close to the bomb spitters there. I'm going to go north again, and then it's back to Dave.
Again! Ray gun!
Oh, no.
That's a good one.
So basically, I shoot around a bunch of things and eventually just shoot what's over here.
So if you aim that north, you would essentially go boop, 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 and then straight ahead. So you actually barely missed. Barely missed. Yeah, that was a close one.
Y'all are going to laugh at me next turn, let me tell you.
Okay, and then it's Mad Cow's last action.
And Mark, since you're listening, can you hear us okay? Because I've got my microphone set kind of loud and weird, but it is over here as opposed to over there.
Okay, so you're going east.
Yep.
So you're going to step one space east just like that. And then my action, I'm also going east. So since I've stepped on a bomb spitter here, I'm going to roll the die to see how far out a bomb comes. 2 spaces. So I grab a random bomb. 1, 2, just like that. So now bombs kind of just get in the way until the end of the round. And then at the end of the round, we check them in numerical order. And if there are any thingamajigs adjacent to them when they're checked, they blow up. Otherwise, they don't. When a bomb blows up, it throws all of the things that were adjacent to it 2 spaces directly away from it. Boop. Yeah, exactly. So that's my action. Go ahead, Dave.
So I actually switched my actions. This was going to be my first action.
Yes.
To move east.
Yeah.
Which means I would have actually hit you twice had I done this in the opposite order.
That's funny. Okay, now that we finished the scheming phase, the execution phase, I should say, we're in the aftermath. So the aftermath is a set of steps that always happens in the same order, starting with fans. So this fan doesn't see anything. This fan is going to pull Mo 1 closer, and this fan doesn't see anything. So that's it for fans. Next is bombs. We check all the bombs in numerical order, like I mentioned a second ago. There is nothing adjacent to this bomb, so it does not explode, and we move on. Next would be crush spots, which are essentially big red X's where anvils can fall and crush you if you're standing there. There aren't any on this map, so we don't have to worry about that. So we wrap up with shrinking the map. Do you guys want the alligator moat or the barbed wire?
Oh, alligators. 100%.
Alligators? Perfect. Okay,
why would you not want alligators?
Yep.
So this will, stay for...
Yes, we'll check it again next round. Okay, now that this has fallen, we scoop our actions up, and then we check for anything that applies at the end of the round. So nobody is adjacent to me, so I get to flip my gimmick over, which is nice. And unfortunately, you did pass your goal, but you don't have any holes to spend because you didn't confuse yourself at all. So
What if you're on top of the fan?
you die. If you enter it at any time,
you just
and that's when your blood sprays in.
Right. You did say that. I got it. Gotcha.
And then the dibs token passes to the next player, so that's the first player token. And if you're dead when this gets passed to you, you get to respawn. So that's a way to get back into the game. Yeah.
Okay, so and then is there any action or any option where we can remove that in the game?
Just
Any special?
not really. Just avoid it. Okay, and now it's a new round, and so we gain quirks again. So since I have dibs this time, I get to look at the top two. Everybody's just going to draw the top one off of the deck. So now you have two.
Written instructions once per execution phase. When you're confused, I'm assuming that question mark is confused. Good icons. You may choose which card goes back into your scheme.
That's pretty good. I got Jackhammer, which is after I stop moving in a space. After I stop moving, I put a hole on every space I exited. So I'm going to be leaving a trail of holes everywhere I go. And he got Hot Potato. So Hot Potato at the end of the round is going to explode and make him move 2 spaces in a random direction. But if he touches one of us, he passes the Hot Potato to us.
Oh, lovely.
And it includes an attack or a push, or if we attack or push him, that counts too. Okay, and so now we get to lay our stuff down.
Hi, Jim. Yes. Hey, Jim, thank you for being over at Mel's Live. That's awesome. Dave, when do you ever follow written instructions? Never at all. All right. Dibs.
All right, let's start. So I'm going to go east. So I step 1 space east since I stopped moving. Oh, by the way, the only reason I can go... Yeah, sorry, I should mention. So since my gimmick is flipped, Freddy's thing is that I get to treat every space like it's blank.
Oh,
So I can walk right through the wall. Also, since I finished moving, my jackhammer means that I have to put a hole on the space that I exited. So that is no longer a bomb spitter, now it's just a hole. If you stop moving on a hole, you die, you fall into it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But
you can pass over it, but you just can't stop on it.
yes,
I suppose you're only moving 1 spot normally.
yeah,
so.
usually that's what happens. But like if a bomb blows up and throws you over it, that's fine. So
All right.
Holes. All right, go for it.
I move east.
Nice.
Okay, I move east too.
You're also going east. Yeah, I got you. Just like that. Back over to me. I'm going west. So again, I get to ignore this hole because I treat it like it's blank, and I put a hole here. So this wall is gone now. Or that part of it.
Again!
South. So you're stepping down to there, and then I'm going to improvise. So I draw from the deck. I got Noodle of Woe. I'm going to aim it just like this.
So everybody in the line
Exactly.
is
So I'm going to hit the bomb and the mad cow here with this. And victims are going to get moved 1 space in the direction I aimed it for every empty quirk slot they have. So since you have 1 empty quirk slot, you're going to get moved 1 onto the oil and slide. The bomb technically has 3 empty quirk slots because it has no quirks. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, just like that. And that's it for that attack. And then it's Dave's turn.
Improvise. Donkey kick.
that's me.
So I'm assuming I move 2 forward. Is that what that is?
Yeah. So you'll attack the things that are behind you, and then move 2 ahead in the opposite direction.
So actually you're gonna be safe because I can't move.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I can't attack behind me or I walk off the edge.
Yeah.
So I also don't hit the bomb. So I just end up moving up 2 spaces.
Yeah. So you aim it north, kick behind you, hit nobody, move 2 spaces ahead.
Unfortunate.
Mine is west, so
You're gonna step west to right there. Okay. Oh, I just realized I hit you with an attack, so I'm supposed to take Hot Potato from you.
okay.
Sorry, I forgot about that. Okay, and then we're in the aftermath. So first we do fans. This one's going to push Mad Cow 1 there. Then we check bombs. Nothing is adjacent, so that bomb gets to live some more. No crush spots. Then we shrink them out. Do we want the toxic waste or the spikes?
The
Toxic waste.
Toxic waste.
Okay, so that's going to cover that bomb and get rid of it.
So that the black hole is still there.
That's okay. I'll clean it up later. So that's all covered up. So this is now an instant death ring if you walk into it. Then we check our end of round stuff. So I'll go first since I have dibs. This is still okay because nobody's adjacent to me. And then, I forgot to do this. This is supposed to happen last round. I'll just get rid of that. But my hot potato is going to blow up. So I have to stumble 2 spaces. So I'm going to roll a die. The number I get will be the direction that I have to move 2 spaces in.
Okay.
1, north. That's very unfortunate. The hot potato has thrown me off the edge, and it gets discarded. Okay. Boom! So now it's over to Dave. I don't think you have anything for end of the round.
Nope.
And once again, you're alive, but you don't have any holes. So, okay, so then we scoop our actions up. Dibs is going to get past to Dave now. You're going to pick between the top 2 quirks, and you gain the top one off the deck.
Punching bag when you're moved by another place. Ooh.
Yeah. So he got punching bag. If he gets hit by an attack or push, he has to move an extra space. I'm actually so bad. Thank you. I can't even learn it.
Is that
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of gross up, close up art in the game, inspired from Ren and Stimpy and stuff.
Yeah, I took wrong pocket. When you draw from the improv deck, you may trash the card you drew and draw again. If you do this, trash this card.
Nice. To answer a question I see in chat, there's actually no facing in this game. You choose which direction you want to aim an attack every time you aim it.
There you go. So yes.
So no facing, you just choose when you aim an attack. Okay, so now you guys get to spin. I'm dead, so I'm out at this point.
Mwahahaha.
Okay.
All right. Improvise.
Safety.
Move victims 1 space.
Yeah, so the black arrow is pointing the direction you
Yep.
aim it.
So.
So he hit you that way. Oh, but he has punching bag, so he goes an extra space.
So I'm out.
That's it. Yeah, Dave wins.
Boo, 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 boo.
Yeah. So
Victory.
very fast, very sudden games for sure. It's sort of all about watching your plan go wrong and having unexpected things happen and funny chain reactions. So it's the kind of game where you sit down, you play a few games in one sitting, and then maybe get into your bigger game for the night afterwards.
And I love this art.
Oh, yeah, and even if you try to play a safe game like me, I think I made a safe game. Yeah, I mean,
And it
but
didn't
still
work.
I'm
Yeah, you
dead
just got
because you
tossed
see this
around.
one, you know, if I'm not,
Yeah,
hit
let's
by
just back up. Let's pretend you didn't just get pushed off.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
finish this right. Just let it,
Yeah.
So
So I
my
go
next one is
So
again.
he would go east, and then you're improvising again.
So I would barf boost, which puts a splatter on each and moves you 1 space. So you still would have gotten killed.
No.
Well, no, that doesn't
Or
move
is that-
him.
oh.
That doesn't move him. So
I thought
this
that-
one. So if you were to aim this down, so you also can't hit him from here.
Oh, I moved 1 space.
Exactly.
I moved
Yeah.
1
So
space.
you would put blood down, and then you move onto it, and it would slide you. So you're trying to essentially aim this in a way where you're not going to die.
Right.
And actually, there's no way you can aim it, so you would die here because no matter which way you aim it, it would be 2 blood in front.
However, I could wrong pocket
Exactly. Yeah. There you go.
and not do that. That is not a whole lot better. Flight of the. Before you aim this, look at the top card of the improv deck. And move 2 spaces, and then improvise again. Yep. So, 1, 2.
Yep.
Improvise again.
Chompy. Yeah. There you go. And then you'd get him with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent. So yes.
See, the safe game doesn't work.
No.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, with this guy too, like all his power is in the wheel, right? So you want to be confusing yourself whenever you can.
No, thank you guys very much for coming in and joining for this.
Yeah.
I greatly appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Yeah,
Yeah.
a reminder to the folks in the chat: we're in our last 5 days on Kickstarter.
Yes.
We fully funded already, and we've hit our first stretch goal, and now we're working on our second stretch goal.
What's the first stretch goal? What's the second stretch
The
goal?
first stretch goal was an extra board. So normally the game comes with 4 double-sided boards. And so we only played on one of them, but you can see there's a whole variety of other ones with anvil falling spots and portals, and this one has a wall that cuts the board in half, and you can only traverse it with these portals and stuff. So lots of cool combos there. And the first stretch goal adds a 5th one of these, so essentially brings the map total up from 8 to 10. And then the second stretch goal is actually an upgrade for the tray inside the game. So by default, the game has this really nice plastic tray with all these debossed sort of icons representing where stuff goes, nice slots for the characters to fit in so you don't have to take them apart every round. And the stretch goal is going to add a nice plastic lid to that so it keeps everything locked in and secure.
I love that so much.
Yeah, and it has the Unscrewed logo in all its glory debossed into it too, so nice and big, looking right at you when you open the game up.
It is a fun logo. There's what there's where the game looks like. And that's the Kickstarter project URL at the bottom. Like this art is just absolutely fabulous. I'm just going to zoom in a whole whack and grab
these are the ones.
Characters.
Oh, characters,
like,
yeah.
I have to remember which way is up on this. And is the game coming with the acrylics or are they coming with cardboard?
The game comes with the acrylics. What you're seeing here is what the game comes with.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we got the bombs, we got the anvils. And then I put Mo away, but Mo is right there. Mosquito.
It's just I love the style here.
Thank you.
It really is a lot, and just as a game, it's fun. I like it. I'm excited. I can't wait. When do you plan the film?
So right now we've put on the page July 2025, which is about a year after we launched. Yep. Optimistically, I'm hopeful it's actually not going to take that long. We really put a lot of buffer in there just in case the worst happens. But you hear about stuff with shipping all the time, so we really just wanted to hedge our bets. So worst case scenario, July 2025. Best case, I'm hoping maybe 8 months or so from now. Okay. So most of our art files are already done and ready, so it's not like there's a huge wait for that or anything. We're not adding a bunch of new content, right? It's all done. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you very, very much.
Thank you for having me. Thanks to the folks who watched.
Yeah. So let's see if we have any more comments in here. In the upgrade, could you add more players with larger maps?
That's a really good idea, actually. Sorry. That's a really good idea. Actually, I've thought about that before. It definitely won't be as a stretch goal because that's something I'd want to test a lot and make sure it's a meaningful part of the experience. But I will say I've been thinking a lot about expansions, and I think that's the kind of thing that would be perfect for that.
Look at that. You just need a bridge.
I had a really crazy idea. Don't quote me on this, but I had a really crazy idea for like something like this, where you can like fall off and land lower down. No idea how that'll work, but my brain is cooking with something. So.
I like that. Oh.
Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know if I can make that work, but it's an interesting idea.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think it can be done because the board can stand.
Yeah.
Fold the board in such a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
That's a nice idea.
Awesome. So, let me close that. Is Mel live right now? Mel is done. So that's fine, which was expected. We're bouncing between myself and Mel's board game room. We're both figuring things out. Her next stream is 6 o'clock with me, and we are going through the top 9 abstract strategy games over on her YouTube channel. So you can join us over there and check out that delightness in about 90 minutes from now. Until then, thank you guys very much. We're going to go like this. We're going to come over here. Once again, you can pick up the Kickstarter for 5 more days right there. Kickstarter.com/project/mean-hyena-games/unscrewed. And until I see you shortly. I like the 3D board setup. Good idea, 3D test. So the people seem to like it.
Sounds good.
We'll see you soon. Until next time, good gaming and goodbye.